Beat Tape Blueprint series. Daniel, also known as Villain Empire. This is a series for beginner producers to start making and finishing their first beats with quality. Today, I'm going to be telling you the things that you need to get started with your beginner beat making setup. This series is mainly meant for beginners and lower intermediates. You maybe don't know a lot of music theory, you don't know a lot about recording. I'm going to help you get started from scratch. This first episode, I want to talk to you about signal chain. What do you need to get started as a producer? Well, for starters, you're going to need a quality pair of headphones. These are my Sony MDR-7506, but you can get something similar by Audio-Technica. The key thing with these is that they're closed back headphones. The difference between closed back and open back headphones is that open back headphones, you'll actually have air coming in and out, and it'll actually require you to have acoustic treatment to benefit the most from this. So if you're like most beginner producers and you're in an untreated room, closed back headphones is a lot more beginner friendly. I'm personally software agnostic. I make a lot of my music on Logic. I also have tried Koala sampler, that is Cubasis. I've used hardware, so SP404. I've used GarageBand. I've even dabbled with Ableton and Studio One. Actually, admittedly, I haven't used FL Studio, so you guys can make fun of me and all that. But for me, the core of your signal chain is a laptop. I'm going to be using Logic. If you have a laptop, a phone, an iPad, get the GarageBand software. If you don't have any software, it's free, very capable. A lot of the features that are on GarageBand are also available on Logic. Please feel free to follow along with any software that you prefer. In this series, I'm going to be using mainly stock plugins. So let's talk a little bit about audio interface. So to record this video with my iPhone, I got my old school trusty AudioBox USB. This is the first interface that I actually ever got a hold of. And it has two inputs, and I use this thing for ages. Scarlett is another great brand, Focusrite Scarlett. So get your hands on one of those. So leave a comment below if you're team blue or team red. I personally started with the blue one. I recently upgraded to this Volt 476, and I like it because it has 4 inputs, a built-in compressor, and a vintage mode. You'll be definitely fine using a basic audio interface. They're great once you want to start plugging in a mic, or another case like using a guitar. You also get a little bit better sound quality, less latency. I connected to the mic into the camera so that I could get a proper recording for you today. This is a Behringer B1 condenser mic. Obviously, Audio-Technica is another great mic company. A lot of people would use a USB mic because they don't want to mess around with audio interface, introducing this. They just want to get a mic without messing with the audio interface, which you can definitely do. But the sound card that's built into your computer, which is how the audio gets processed and sent to your headphones, that audio will be sent with a lower latency if you have an audio interface. Whereas a mic, you're using your internal sound card if you hook up with USB. So I know it's like kind of nerdy stuff, but that's why it's a little bit better to use an XLR microphone and an interface if you have the budget. And of course, if you're just making beats, it's not strictly necessary to use a mic anyways or an interface. You can just connect headphones straight to the 3.5mm jack. Talking a little bit about speakers, I got KRK6s. If you do want speakers on a budget, you can go for a set of bookshelf speakers. You can usually find these on Marketplace if you just want to go most budget friendly setup. I'd recommend the minimum size 6 driver if you want to work with bass heavy music. I know they make 4s and 5s. Those are good for folk, some rock. 4s is great, 5s is great. If you really want this to be buy once and keep it for a long time, Yamaha are typically what you'd see a lot of people using, if not the KRK ones. Go up to like 6s. If you really want the best bass response, I'd say like go with 8s. People say that KRKs don't have the best frequency response. What that means is they are accenting the lows. I think it's a bit hypocritical for people to complain about that, and then they go do music in their untreated room, which is also coloring the frequency response. You're gonna have dead spots in your room. You see a lot of other people saying if you know your speakers well, they don't need to be flat because you know how they affect the sound. These are the main components that you're gonna need to get started making beats. So I hope you enjoy, keep watching. See you in the next video.